This episode of Switchcraft is brought to you by patrons like Ethan Sternke. Support Switchcraft and my other content for as little as $1 and get exclusive rewards at patreon.com/runjumpstomp. Why are you coughing, Vaxxer? Why are you coughing? Weird how it shows you as Anon. Yeah, I think it's just because I've got an anonymous hippo and an anonymous liger looking at the at the show notes. So like, this is all the stuff I was talking about that I was like, I don't know how to cut that stuff out. It's a lot of work. So I'm not going to cut it out of the video. I'll cut it out of the audio because that's easy. But cutting it out of the video, that's a little above my pay grade, I think. So we'll call that patron. All right. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious, well, you know how the quote ends. This is episode 88, and you know, if you didn't know what that quote is, watch Back to the Future. Awesome movie. But episode 88, and we are right back at Switchcraft, where we talk about Nintendo stuff 3 days a week. And I'm going to start off, like I always do, with feedback from you. We've got a review on Apple Podcasts from Titan886. They said, good stuff, short and sweet. I have listened for 3 or 4 episodes, and I highly recommend it. I can tell from listening that he is really engaged with his fans, which is amazing. I think it would be cool to have guests on the show and hear their opinions. Just friends of Bill would be cool. And maybe bigger names later. Great job. Well, Titan886, I've got some news for you. Right now, there is episode 87Z, or if you are in other parts of the world, episode 87Z, and that featured a guest. Now, right now, I've got that reserved for patrons, but tomorrow I'll have that extra episode come out, and I was joined by my buddy Zap DC, who's a Twitch streamer, and we talked about his experience playing some Nintendo games and some non-Nintendo games at EGX, which is, I think, the European Game Expo, which is out where he lives. So, you know, ask and you shall receive. We also received an email. The email comes, the email comes to me from runjumpstomp@gmail.com, or not from, but to. So if you want to email, that's the email address that you will use. And it reads, Hi, Bill. I've been a longtime Nintendo fan and have all their mainline home consoles that have come to the UK. Since buying the Switch, I have been listening to a lot of podcasts to keep up to date with the latest news. The 2 that I have settled on are Switchcraft and NVC. I feel that NVC gives me the multi-voiced, multi-opinionated mainstream view, and Switchcraft gets me a more considered, nuanced, and intimate experience. I love the shorter but more frequent format. I think about 30 minutes is the sweet spot. Anyway, keep up the good work. Julian from Essex, UK. Oh, look at here. You could have probably been there at the at EGX. Well, thank you very much for the kind words. What I would recommend is that you check out Nintendo Powercast. I'm supposed to be a guest, if things go along according to plan. I'm supposed to be a guest on their show next Tuesday, and they stream that at twitch.tv/N64Josh. We're going to talk about Nintendo stuff there. I would also, if you like older Nintendo stuff, I would also recommend the Power Time podcast from Tom Tate, where he looks at old Nintendo Power magazines and talks about them. So those are 2 more podcasts to add to your list. If you're looking for other ways to get a hold of me, you can tweet at me at RunJumpStomp on Twitter. And we also have a voicemail this week. Justin from Pennsylvania called into the voicemail. The voicemail line is 260-RUN-JUMP. That's 260-786-5867. I'm going to go ahead and play it now, so I'll shut up, and then we'll talk about what Justin has to say afterwards. All right, so feedback 1. Now I got to go grab the voicemail. You've got All right, where T12 episode 100 count. Well, it's weird. It's weird about the episode 100 thing. Hey there, Bravd. Zimzors is all over him. All right, let me grab this. I'm going to download it. And now I've got to mute everything. Drop this into there. Let me mute my alerts so that they don't go off. I'm going to turn down my mic.
Hello, this is Justin from Pennsylvania. I was calling about your questions about Doom. I have to believe that the developer wants the game to run the best it can. And if they didn't think it could be good, I don't think they would bring it to the Switch. I mean, they're going to sell this thing, and it's a game that a lot of people that are big gamers that might play this would already own on another system that are wanting to play this portably. I think that is your big draw, that this could be Doom that's portable. Also, as far as PCs running similar specs and stuff like that, the one thing that they can't do, they can't lower the textures and make the graphics worse. Maybe they can, but not the way a developer can. And that's really going to make a big difference on how many frames you can get. Some of the best games I've ever played, like Uncharted, runs at 30 frames per second. It can be beautiful and be at 30 frames. Now, unfortunately, this is going to be something that can be compared to another thing because there is a 60-frame version that's out there. But I would say, all in all, I have to believe that they're going to make a great version of this, the best version they can. I hope it's a good version for the Switch. I actually haven't picked it up, and I think I might play it on my Switch. I hope it's a good version. I can't imagine they wouldn't do it if it couldn't run at a somewhat decent level. So that'd be my 2 cents on it. I appreciate hearing from other people. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.
All right. So let me go ahead and set up to record some more. By the way, how did that sound to you guys? Could you hear the voicemail okay? Thanks for all the retweets and likes, you guys. You're awesome. Thank you very much. Sorry. You know, Justin, I really couldn't agree with more with you. I don't think there's any developer out there that sets out to make a bad game. Now, sometimes they overreach or overextend and they try and do things that they can't, or they run out of money, or the suits that make the decisions force a developer to push a game out too soon. I don't think that that's what's going to happen with Doom. We've been talking a lot about frame rate lately, and what's really interesting to me is that it was running so smooth. And now I haven't played it myself, but all of the big publications were able to get their hands on the game at some point, and the game was running extremely smooth enough that many people who at the big publications were saying, boy, it really looks like it might be 60 frames per second, which is why everybody was getting all hyped about it. And then Bethesda says, no, it's at 30, but they're saying it's a stable 30. And I said this last time, and I just will reiterate it real quick. It's more important to have a stable frame rate than a high frame rate. And I do think that we're going to be getting a stable frame rate from Doom. I hope that what we heard was wrong, that there's no motion controls, because I'm not really a first-person shooter guy with two sticks, but it works wonderfully when I have the gyro aiming. So that's what I'm really hoping for. But thank you very much for calling in, Justin. That phone number, again, if you want to call in and let your voice be heard, is 260-RUN-JUMP. That's 260-786 5867. There's a bunch of different ways that you can get a hold of me. I've already listed a bunch of them. There's also our Discord channel. We've got a really great community in there where we're constantly talking about not just Nintendo stuff, but just awesome things in general. Earlier, we were having a conversation about swimming. And you can also join the live stream. For those of you that don't know, I am recording these episodes live at twitch.tv/runjumpstomp. And you can be there at 3 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And Saturdays, I don't know when I actually get to record. That's always up in the air until the last minute. So, just make sure that you follow the channel on Twitch and you will get notified when I go live. And then you can come in and let your voice be heard. Anyway, let's jump right into the news today. There's a bunch. All right, we'll name that post voicemail. All right, Aerslia, I will normalize that afterward because I always kind of listen to that as I'm going, and I try and get it even with my voice, but I can't really do that when I'm streaming it. So I'll fix that in post. But I was just curious. Next time I'll turn it up even more for you guys because it won't affect the recording at all. All right, let's see. We've got news. Let me get a drink. Oh, we're going to talk about Saturday's stream, Vaxxer. We're going to talk about that. Well, speaking of the Discord, Aerslia, who is also a Patreon and a subscriber on Twitch, thank you so much. They posted in the Discord some Stardew Valley news. I know that Stardew Valley is a hot topic among people who have the Switch. There's a lot of people out there that really want to play this game on the Switch. And, well, we've got a tweet from the CEO of Chucklefish, which I love that name. And it says, Stardew Valley Switch update, we've been approved. This came out like right after I finished recording last episode, which, that's another good reason to have 3 episodes a week, because even if something comes out right after your latest episode, you're almost always only 2 days away. But they said, Stardew Valley Switch update, we've been approved, working on finalizing a release date with all parties involved. Will continue to inform. Now, I know that there's a lot of people out there who hear this and they're like, okay, holy cow, we're going to be getting it this month or next month. Maybe, but here's the thing. You're going to be getting a game that is going to be incomplete, and it's going to be okay if you get a game that's incomplete, because Stardew Valley is a game, and if you don't know about it, it's a game that's it was made by one person. Now, I don't know if it's still one person. My guess is probably not. They probably have a team by now because they've done so well. But the original game was made by one person, and it was supported very heavily by PC users. And the PC users really want to have first crack at multiplayer. So you got to keep that in mind. We're not going to be getting the multiplayer on the Switch yet. Now, we do know that in the future, when multiplayer does come to the consoles for Stardew Valley, the Switch gets timed exclusive for that. I think that's a deal that they made with Nintendo. Aerslia in chat, no, Zimzor's in chat said they said multiplayer would be out a month after release. Still waiting. Well, if that's the case, and I haven't read that story, but if that is in fact the case, Zimzor's, then what that means to me is that we would, at the soonest, we would get it in December, at the absolute soonest. Because they specifically said that multiplayer wasn't coming to consoles until next year. So I understand that they're spinning plates out there, and I know that there's a lot of people that are very, very excited for Stardew Valley. Which, by the way, if you don't know what Stardew Valley is, get out from under that rock you've been hiding under, because it's been everywhere. But it's a game very much like Harvest Moon, which is not something I had ever played, although I had heard about it quite a bit. But Harvest Moon is a farming simulator game, which sounds incredibly dull. But it's got like these 16-bit graphics, very Super Nintendo-ish. We'll talk more about Super Nintendo later. And you inherit a farm from your grandfather, and you start to clean up that farm and expand that farm, and you build fences, and you can get the materials that you collect and use them to build other things. You can go into a mine and dig up metals in order to smelt those metals. It's very cool. And then on top of that gameplay, you also have this weird relationship simulator type of gameplay. And that part of the game, that doesn't interest me as much, but I know a lot of people love that stuff. Like you can go to parties with the people, the town folks, and you need to increase your reputation with the town folk, and you can eventually get married, and there's some weird wizard, and there's all kinds of secrets to uncover. And I've heard of many people playing Stardew Valley for an inordinate amount of time. So I can understand why people would want that game portably. I already have it. I got it on sale at some point on Steam, and part of me wants to try it again because having it on the go I would be much more likely to play it. I tend not to sit down and play it at my computer though, and I don't think that that's because it's a bad game. But I'm a little gun shy on picking it up again because I really haven't spent very much time with it already. So anyway, thank you to Aerslia for posting that in the Discord. If it does release this year, it's going to be just the single player with the multiplayer coming to PC first. So just keep that in mind. Let's talk about another game that was announced. All right, oops, oh boy, that was almost bad. File name, we'll call that Stardew Valley. SDV, just sounds too much like STD. I'm going to type it out Stardew instead. Oh, you were referring to the PC version? That's okay, Zimzors. I said that I didn't have information in front of me, so it could have been wrong. All right. Now let's talk about a game that I have bought multiple times, and I was happy to buy it multiple times. And that's Jackbox. Jackbox 1, 2, and 3. Well, Jackbox 1 and 2, I bought multiple. Actually, yeah, Jackbox 1, 2, and 3, I have bought twice. Both of them. Or all three of them. Boy, I can't do math, apparently. Well, I'm glad that I'm not going to need to buy the fourth one twice, because the fourth one is launching with the Switch. And I wanted to have it on the Switch because it was a pain to get it on my TV downstairs, so that when we have people over, we can easily play it. Well, Jackbox 4 is coming to the Switch on October 19th, and this is very exciting for me because this is just in time for Thanksgiving. We'll have like a house full of people, and this is the kind of game that you can play with a house full of people. Now, if you have never played a Jackbox game, stop listening to the show and go and download Jackbox 1, 2, or 3. They're all great. And get ready to have a lot of fun. Or you can wait until October 19th and pick up the fourth one. But I really don't think you'd regret buying any of the earlier ones. But the way that the game works is that you start the game with your controller, and then basically you set the controller down, and it connects to the internet. You have to have an internet connection for this, but it connects to the internet and it puts a little room code up on your up on your screen, like 4 letters, and then you on your phones or tablets or computers or whatever, you go to jackbox.tv and then you hit enter, and it's like pick your name and put in the room code. Okay, so then you do that, and then they have all of these different little mini games that you can play with everybody around, and I think you can have like unlimited players. Well, that's not true. You can have a certain number of players, and that varies depending on what game you're playing, but you have an unlimited number of audience members who can still participate, which is really cool. That's why it's huge on Twitch. People play it on Twitch a lot. But they've got ones where you draw and make t-shirts, and then you vote on which t-shirts you think are the best, or you will do a trivia thing. A lot of varied things, and there's ones where you try and make up lies in order to fool everybody. It's an excellent. Wow, I can't speak today. It is an excellent game, and I highly recommend it. And Jackbox 4 is going to be, without a doubt, a day one purchase, and I can't wait for Thanksgiving when we're all stuffed with turkey and just can barely move. And I'll be like, all right, everybody, time to play Jackbox. Slap the Switch in, turn it on, and make some t-shirts. And oh man, and that t-shirt game, I don't know if you know this, but when you finish, you can actually buy the t-shirts that you guys drew while you were playing. It's crazy. All right, let's talk something a little more Nintendo focused. I'm a little nervous about this. Why the hell is that highlighted up there? When I actually get to record, that's buy the t-shirts that you guys. All right, Aerslia, am I ever going to do a Jackbox stream? It's tough, Aerslia. I've done them in the past, and I would really like to. The only problem is that this is, and I don't know if you guys all know this about me, but I'm a teacher, and nobody really knows about my stream or my podcast, but just in case, I try and keep things very PG, something that you would be okay with your kids hearing. Now, sometimes I might play a violent game, in which case I put like mature in the title. And Zimzors has a really good point. Jackbox streams really do bring out the trolls, which is too bad. So I think that I don't know if I would do a Jackbox stream, just because people can type anything and then it shows up on your screen. And people are just jerks. You know what I mean? So I've done them before, but I don't think I'm ever going to do them again. Sorry to disappoint. All right. Oh, let's translate this. All right, there we go. I'm always happy to see @arms_cobutter post something on Twitter. If you don't follow them and you like the game ARMS, you should follow them. It's a Japanese account, but you can always translate it and then try and figure out what they're saying via Google Translate. Don't use the Bing Translate, because the Bing Translate is always a disaster. But anyway, Arms Cobutter posted today, and they basically said, we're getting a new stage for ARMS tomorrow, which is very interesting. I think this will be the first time where they've added a stage, but not the character that it goes with. I haven't really been playing ARMS because I've got like 12. It feels like 12 games that I have to review. It's really only 3 or 4. Plus, I'm playing World of Warcraft still. I've got to record the podcast. And now we've got the Super Nintendo coming. Plus, I've got my day job, and I got to take my son to soccer practice and taekwondo, and things just pile on, and I haven't had a chance to play ARMS. The game is fantastic. I love that game, and I'm excited to play the new stage. I'm happy that I didn't play very much when the circus clown balloon lady, I forget her name, when she came out. I played a little bit, but there's just everybody was playing the same character because everybody wanted to try out that character. Whereas with a new stage, I feel like being able to load up the game, I'm going to be able to fight more than just that one balloon lady. And I'll still get to see the new content. So I'm looking forward to playing it. I don't know if I'll have time to play it tomorrow. Tomorrow is my wife's birthday, so we're going to be going out for dinner. But anyway... new stage coming. Are you guys still... Is anybody out there still playing ARMS? I think it's a fantastic game. It's my go-to fighting game, and it is the reason why I didn't pick up Pokken Tournament for the Switch, because I just think ARMS is really great, and I don't see myself enjoying Pokken more than ARMS, especially after playing the demo. Not that I felt like Pokken Tournament was a bad game. It just... I prefer... how ARMS plays personally. That being said, when Smash Brothers comes out, I'm going to be playing that without a doubt. If Smash Brothers ever comes out. That's right. TF Wagner in chat says too many games. Like, speaking of too many games, this is insane. There were 18 games released for the Switch this week. 18 games in 1 week. I got 4, maybe 5. I got a review code for Astro Bears, Death Squared, SteamWorld Dig 2. Oh man, what's that other one? Robonauts. Then there was something else. My Switch is... Oh, it's right here. Let me see what else was there. But it's just there's just so many games. Thimbleweed Park, Semispheres. There's so many games that have just come out in this month that I don't think there's anybody that can keep up with all that stuff. So I feel like a little guilty that I haven't been playing ARMS, because it's a fantastic game. Although, just want to remind everybody that every time I have played it, I've gotten a match instantly. So there's definitely still people playing. I'm just wondering who it is. Because I don't hear people in my Discord talk about it very often. Okay, one more story before we get to gameplay. Too many games. All right. In 2015, when Nintendo brought back the Nintendo World Championships, I watched it, and it was awesome. I absolutely loved watching it. I thought it was super fun. Well, it's on its way back. We've talked about the qualifying rounds and stuff. Those are all over now, and the finale is going to be October 7th at 5 p.m. in New York City. There's going to be free admission. The people who are participating in it, they have already qualified by going to Best Buy stores and stuff like that. They were all sent a new 2DS with Metroid Samus Returns, because that is going to be one of the games that is going to be played. Maybe like a speed run kind of thing. So Nintendo wanted them to be able to practice, so they sent them all the winners of the qualifying rounds that game. The reason I'm talking about it, it's going to be on Twitch. It'll also be on YouTube. But whenever you watch something that has thousands upon thousands of viewers, the chat is just unusable. And, I know that I personally like to talk about what I'm watching with other people who are like-minded, who enjoy that stuff too. So I'm going to host it on my stream. I don't know if I can co-stream it, so like that's something that we'll have to wait and to find out later. But if I can't co-stream it, then I'll host it, and we can use the Twitch chat to talk about what's happening on the stream without having to worry about dealing with all of the just the insanity scrolling by with all of the memes and stuff. So anyway, Nintendo World Championships, October 7th, 5 p.m. If you want to watch it with people who listen to Switchcraft, head on over to twitch.tv/runjumpstomp. Although the last time there was a Nintendo Direct, all of the conversation happened right in the Discord instead. So maybe just have both open. I'm not sure. Anyway, let's jump into gameplay. You know what I've realized is that I say let's jump in way too much, and I've got to stop it. I've got to stop it. Let's just stop. Nintendo World Championship. Well, like I said earlier, I got a review copy of Death Squared, which, by the way, is on sale. I think it's 20% off this week. And so I got a review copy of the game. Full disclosure, just so people know that that's not something that I paid for. This is a puzzle game, multiplayer puzzle game, although you can play it single player as well. And there's 80 levels in it, although I've read that there's some bonus levels in as well. And the crux of the gameplay, it's kind of like almost a 3/4 view, 3-dimensional world. You control these little boxes that are on the board, and on every board there's 4 circles, and there's 4 boxes, and you have to get the appropriate box to the appropriate circle. So there's red, green, blue, and yellow, I think. So those are the 4 colors, and you have to get the green box on the green circle. Well, along the way, there's obstacles, like maybe you have to move the boxes in a certain order in order to get the one box where you want to get it. Sometimes as you are moving one box across, spikes will pop up in a certain spot and it will break your other boxes. And, even if you die, it just respawns the level and you do it again. And it's really not that big a deal. There's other things in each level that react to the way that you're moving your characters. So let's say the red box moves, there'll be these little transparent red blocks that also move. And you have to mess around with the characters just enough so that you can figure out, okay, when I move the red box to the left, these little transparent red cubes, they will move up. When I move it to the right, they'll move down. And so you kind of have to work that part out. And, if you're the yellow box, you can't go through the transparent red cubes. I don't know if the red box can. There's also lasers. So there'll be a laser that will shoot, and it'll be color-coded laser. The red box can stand in the red laser. The blue box cannot. And the blue box can stand in the blue laser, and the red box cannot. And sometimes the lasers will be attracted to the box that it's designated, so the red laser will follow the red box around. And you have to work out the way with the other person that you're playing with, or other people. They have up to 4. They have some stages which go up to 4 players. They have over 80 levels, and then I don't know if these are additional levels, but there's 40 levels that are for 4 players. Maybe those are 40 levels that are in addition to the 80. I'm not sure because I haven't finished all 80 levels yet. But when you're playing, sometimes the laser will point at the red box, and as the red box moves from place to place, the laser follows it. So you might have to take a gray box, these are lifeless boxes that you can only push around, and push it into the path of where the red laser is going to be, so that it blocks that laser, and the other boxes can get to their location. Maybe you have to stack the boxes on top of each other because it's a 3D world, and maybe the button that the green box has to go on is 2 levels high, so you have to get the red one on the bottom and then a yellow one on top and a green one on top of that, and move it over to the level, and then the green one can get onto, because they can't jump, it can get onto the button. This is really cool. It's a very, very good game. I played it with my son a little bit, and he didn't really like it, and I think it's because it's very easy to fall off the edge, because there's 4 boxes, and when you're playing a game with 4 boxes, each player is controlling two of the boxes. So you'll be playing, and for the video, for the people who are listening, I'm holding up my red Joy-Con. You move around, and I think this is a mistake. There was one thing that I didn't like about Death Squared is when I'm moving around with the Joy-Con, in order to switch from the red box to the blue box, I have to hold down the SR button on my Joy-Con, and I would very much have preferred that I could just, I don't know, maybe click in the stick, or maybe just press the SR button, or have it mapped to one of the face buttons so that I don't have to hold it down to change from the red box to the blue box, so that I could just hit a button and have it flip over. Because there were a lot of times where I thought that I was pushing down on the button, or I had forgotten to push down the button, and I had meant to move the blue box or the red box, or my son had meant to move the green box or the yellow box, and we moved the wrong one, and we have to start over. So he got a little bored with it after a while and started trolling me, so he would like push me off the edge or make sure that the spikes killed me, or and I was like, stop that, I'm trying to solve these puzzles. But the game is really good, and I'm looking forward to playing it with other adults who might not get bored with it quite so fast. It's definitely a game that I think that you should pick up, and it's on sale right now for 20% off, I believe. So that's my recommendation, is Death Squared. I highly recommend that game. It's a very fun Switch game, and it's one of those games that does a great job showcasing why the Switch is so great. That pick up and play, share the Joy-Cons with your friends, and just anywhere you are, you can just pull off the Joy-Con and sit there and try and solve a puzzle together. And there's nothing, the barrier to entry to this game is very, very low. Anybody can play it. Not everybody's going to stick with it because it can get frustrating at times. There were a couple times where we were doing puzzles and I was like, I don't know if I'm doing this right. What are we supposed to do? And then finally it would click. But when it does click, you're very ecstatic. It's like, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't think of that. So I recommend the game Death Squared. Check it out. Hey there, Vaxer. That's a hideous emote. What the hell is that? All right. Mario Run is also on sale, 50% off, and the new stuff that came out with the remixed levels and the super short segments is not enough to draw me back in. Now, don't get me wrong. If you have never played Super Mario Run, I recommend that you do, because it's a great game. I had so much fun playing Super Mario Run. But I've done everything in the game that I really wanted to. I never beat it, but I played it for enough hours that it was definitely worth the $10. And now it's only $5. So if you were sitting there wondering whether or not you should pick it up, I think you should. But if you had already kind of had enough of it, there's nothing in this DLC to really entice me to keep playing. I played it just a little bit today, and by the way, it's free. Well, the DLC is free. If you already have the game, you get the other stuff for free. So it was not like people were worried that we were going to have to pay for this. You don't have to pay for it if you already have the game. I really don't like the shorter levels. I feel like, and when they say short levels, like Mario is on the screen for about 10 seconds and you are done with the level. And I didn't enjoy that. One of the things that I really liked about Super Mario Run was going back and doing a level over and over and over again and just trying to make sure that I got every single color coin. And then after you finish it and you get all of the red coins, I don't remember the color, and then you go back and you get all the blue coins, and then you go back, you get all the green coins, and then you go back and you get all the black coins. And it was a lot of fun doing it that way. Whereas with this remix mode that they have, they just take 10 random snippets from the game and they put them all together. And even if you miss a coin, the game just keeps going, and you can't just hit the. In the original one, you could hit a bubble button, and it would put Mario in a bubble, and he would move back to the beginning of the level, and then you could continue running. That bubble button is gone, and it's very frustrating to me when I miss a coin on my first time around, and I can't go back to try and get it. I don't like the new way to do it, and I know that this is the only way that you can unlock Daisy to play as her. I think that she has a double jump. I think that's her special ability. But Super Mario Run is not for me anymore. But if you've never played it, pick it up for $5 because it's really good. But I've probably got like 10, 15 hours in that game. So I've had enough. Hey, Nintendo, what's going on? All right, let's jump into the lightning round. Let's jump into. I just said let's jump in again. Stop it. Just stop. There we go. Let's try that again. It's time for the lightning round. This is where I'm going to talk a little bit less about each story so I can get through a bunch of them. Chess Ultra is coming to Nintendo Switch with cross-platform, and I love how they call this cross-table multiplayer. So you take your Switch, you set it down on its back on the table in front of you. One person is on one side of the table, the other person is on the other, just like a chessboard. And you don't have to touch the screen, which is fantastic. I'm happy about that. And you just play with the Joy-Cons. Vaxer in chat says One Piece is coming to the Switch. Yeah, I don't know what that is. It's something that's coming up in the show notes, so maybe you can tell me about that, and we'll talk about it when I get there. Like I already told you guys that Death Squared is on sale and Super Mario Run is on sale, so we've already got that out of the way. Spelunker Party from Square is coming to the Switch next month. This game looks pretty cool. I like the art style. Very kind of simple art style with the characters, but then the world looks pretty well done. I think, and I could be wrong, but I think I saw a stream of somebody playing Spelunker Party, and it looked pretty good. Not fantastic, but pretty good. I didn't know that it was by Square, so that gets me a little more interested because I tend to like games from Square. But anyway, that's coming to the Switch next month, as well as Oxenfree, which is a fairly popular game. It's supposed to be like an adventure game, and looks kind of spooky. And it's coming on October 6th. So that's actually not long at all. Like that's only like 1 week away, basically. All right, so that's it for the lightning round. Let's do coming soon on September 28th. That's today. That's right now. Golf Story is out. I really want Golf Story. That game looks great. Tomorrow, Super Nintendo Classic. The Super Nintendo Classic is finally here. I cannot believe that we have had to wait so long. This is going to be excited. I got an email this morning that my UK version... See, US didn't do pre-orders right away, so I was nervous that I wouldn't be able to get one, and when they went up for the UK Amazon pre-orders for amazon.co.uk, I pre-ordered one, and I've just been sitting here wondering, are they actually going to ship it to the States? Because it said, like, right on the website, will not ship to the United States, and I was like, oh boy, here we go. But I got an email this morning, said that it was shipped. And I also was lucky enough to be able to walk into a GameStop when, like, I actually went to a GameStop. I've told the story on the show before, but I walked into the GameStop and said, give me a pre-order. And the guy was like, here you go, man. We only had a couple. So I got lucky there. That's coming out it's coming out tomorrow, which is very exciting. Now, tomorrow is also my wife's birthday, so I will not be streaming it. However, I will be streaming it on Saturday. I'm thinking Saturday at 3 p.m. is when we're going to be streaming at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And I did a survey. I asked you what you wanted to see me stream. And you guys, 81% of you said Super Mario RPG. So that is the first game that I'm going to be streaming on it, where we'll do a stream on Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Super Mario RPG, and hopefully, what I'm really hoping is that I can beat that game before Super Mario Odyssey comes out, because I would like to be able to close one of those off. That way I can then, after all of the Super Mario Odyssey hype, I can play some of the other games that were on there that I've never played, like Earthbound or Final Fantasy III. That's, by the way, the Japanese Final Fantasy III, which that's the U.S. Final Fantasy III, which in Japan was Final Fantasy VI. It's very confusing, I know. Other things that are coming out on tomorrow. I keep saying on tomorrow. That is One Piece Unlimited World Red Deluxe Edition. Vaxer in chat says it is a great anime/manga. He says it will be a battle game, which will be amazing, he says. All caps with the spaces between the letters and stuff. So, cool. FIFA 18 also comes out. That's EA's first foray onto the Switch, I think. I'm not a sports guy, but FIFA, like, just hearing my buddy Zap always talking about how great FIFA is, it makes me want to try it out. I'm not going to, though. And then there's another game called This Is the Police. So that is what we've got coming out, or coming soon before the next episode, which is Saturday. So not only do I have a stream on Saturday where I'm going to be streaming the Super Nintendo Classic, I also have to stream a podcast that day. So I'm not sure what order I'm going to do it in. Maybe I'll do the stream first and the podcast afterwards, but I'm not sure. If you have an opinion on it, head on over to the Discord and let me know what you think in the feedback channel. All right, let's wrap things up. Man, this thing feels like it's going to be a longer episode. Let's see. Coming soon. Hey, Captain Logan. Otterscotch, I ended up with a copy of FIFA 2016 with a bunch of other stuff. You haven't played it once. This is live, Captain Logan. Live. All right. Well, that is all the time that we have for today. If there's a story that I missed or a topic that you want me to discuss, make sure that you let me know by any of the ways that I talked about at the top of the show. If you're looking for ways to support the show, you can purchase a dock sock from my wife's Etsy shop. That's etsy.com/shop/runjumpstomp. Today is the last day. Well, no, that's a lie. Tomorrow is the last day where the coupon will work. That coupon is JoJo35. That's JoJo35. And that will get you $3.50, whatever you order from the shop. She makes cool, nerd-related fabric stuff. She's got Doctor Who fabric. She's got Mario fabric, Zelda fabric, Splatoon fabric. So head on over there and check it out. And even if you don't buy anything, just favorite the shop. That way, when she posts something else, you'll see it. So that's one way that you can support the show. There's a lot of ways that you can support the show, but the number one best way for you to support the show is to share it with a friend. So get somebody else to listen to this, maybe they'll say to you, "Hey, why is Brian Griffin talking?" That's an inside joke for the chatters. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. We've got sponsors. Check out audible.com. There's an ad at the end. And we're going to have a new sponsor coming soon. That's going to be OP Seat. They are sending me a chair to check out. It's a gaming chair, so I'll check that out. I'll let you guys know what I think of it. And then I'll give you a coupon code where you can get a certain amount of money off whatever you order there. I haven't tried it yet, so I'm not going to recommend it yet until I actually try it out. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye. You know what? I don't like that. I'm not going to mention. I'm going to do that over again. As long as you have Gerudo Valley playing over the ad, I will always listen to it. All right, let's try again. That is all the time that we have for today. If there's a story that I missed or a topic you would like discussed, let me know. If you're looking for ways to support the show, you can do so by heading on over to my wife's Etsy shop. Tomorrow is the last day where you can use the coupon code JOJO35. That's JOJO35. And that'll get you $3.50 off whatever it is that you order. Even if you don't order anything today, just favorite the shop. That way, if she posts some new thing that she's selling and it's like, oh man, I've always wanted one of those, you'll be notified of it. You can also help out just by sharing the show with a friend. Find somebody who you think would enjoy it and say, hey, listen to this guy. He's bald and weird. And maybe they will check it out as well. Thank you guys so much for listening. We've got sponsors that I want to mention. The first one is Audible. Audible has been a sponsor of the show for a while now. At the end of the show, there's music by Tom Winter, and I throw the Audible ad right at the beginning of that, and then I let the rest of Gerudo Valley play. And then we also have a new sponsor that is that actually they've done one episode so far. That's the Podnuts Podcast Network. I'm going to talk more about that on Saturday. And then I've got another new sponsor called OP Seat. They make gaming chairs. Now, they're a sponsor, but I haven't tested the chair yet. So I'm waiting until I actually receive one, and I'll put it together. I'll tweet it out, and then I'll let you guys know what I think of it, and I'll have a coupon code that you'll be able to use to get. I think it's $10 off your order. But don't go out and buy anything yet because I haven't tried it myself. I've heard they're pretty good though. Anyway, special thanks to Noteblock and Tom Winter for the use of your music in the show. You make the show better by doing that. Please go to their YouTube channels and subscribe to them because they're fantastic. I'm out of here. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you on Saturday. Hopefully, you'll be at the live stream because I'm going to be playing Super Mario RPG on the Super Nintendo Classic. That is, unless horrible things have happened and I don't actually get one like I think I'm going to. All right, let's get out of here. Bye-bye. All right, I think that was better the second time. We'll name that